People who are good at what they do, but find sales harder than they should, they're caught in what I call a communication disconnect. You're talking from the solution while your ideal buyer is listening from problem. People do not buy your expertise. They buy relief. If you're sitting there right now thinking, I keep creating more content, but my revenue just isn't matching my effort, you're not alone. You know your work is incredibly valuable. You know it gets results, but the sales still feel much harder than they should. If you don't fix the communication disconnect today, you're going to spend the next 6 months spinning your wheels, tweaking your offer, working way harder than necessary to generate revenue. And most importantly, you'll keep missing out on the true impact God has called you to make. I'm Tasha, and before I stepped out in faith to help mission-driven founders translate their deep expertise into a clear message that helps them accelerate sales with less hustle, I spent 15 years as a marketing executive, growing billion-dollar brands and driving millions in revenue for brands like Tide and Tampax at Procter & Gamble. And I've seen firsthand what actually moves revenue and how to spot the hidden friction behind buyer hesitation. Right now, you probably believe you just need more visibility, more content to be on more social platforms. I'd actually like to give you a different perspective. More visibility doesn't help if the value isn't clear. Imagine standing on 5 different social media platforms at the same time. LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, a podcast, and your email list. And you're standing there with a megaphone speaking to a massive crowd, but everyone is grayed out, tuned out, and totally disconnected. If you just keep adding more platforms and more content, you are simply shoving more effort into a broken bottleneck. Here's the insight shift that will change your business. The value of your offer may not be as obvious to the buyer as you think it is. People do not buy your expertise. They buy relief from the problem your expertise solves. Remember this, when the value actually clicks, the right people will pay attention and sales get easier. You don't need a megaphone. You don't need to be on every social platform to reach thousands of grayed out people who aren't listening, who aren't tuned in. You need to clearly communicate your value to a tighter audience so their light bulbs turn on and they finally lean in and want to buy the transformation you're offering. Look at my client, Cass. She came to me with great ideas and felt ready to activate revenue, but she was completely blocked. She had been iterating on her offer for years, changing it, launching it, changing it again, launching it again. And during our intensive, we diagnosed her hidden friction to find out what was the real roadblock slowing down the sales, and we clarified her value. Almost immediately, she closed an $8,000 per month client, which was the highest rate she had ever had for a one-to-one client. $8,000 per month from one session because she was clear on what was actually driving the friction and how to communicate her value. Here's what I want you to do in the next 24 hours. Get a piece of paper, write down the exact painful symptom your buyer is frustrated with right now. Then write down the specific relief your offer provides. Relief, not your solutions, not your methodologies, the relief your offer provides. Don't try to force business growth with more content without first assessing whether your value is clear. Start focusing your energy on making sure the value of your offer is undeniably obvious so the right people finally pay attention and sales become easier. Because when people are clear on the value, you'll hear a lot less of, oh, I can't afford it. Oh, the time is not right now. And you'll start hearing more of, when do I sign up? When can I book? And if you're a faith-led expert who needs help translating your years of expertise into a simple, high-converting message, click the link in the description and let's get your house in order and get you operating with unshakable conviction so you can stop spending all your time trying to be a marketing expert and actually spend your time doing the work that you love to do. I'll see you in the next video.